Awesome. Kurt and Joan, this is Lance with Eagle Eye Inspections, and he has his counterpart Mike over here. They've been here at the property for a good 3 hours, and we're going to do our little summary overall of the property. So, Lance, want to take it from here?
Hello, again, I'm Lance. I'm with Eagle Eye Property Inspections. I just want to let you know, overall, the house is in very good shape. There are a couple things that we'll talk about, but most of all, it's going to be pretty much handyman, easy type fixes that are going to be pretty cheap. The house has good upgrades as far as the countertops. You have dual pane windows. Your roof is in good shape, minus a couple of, only one broken roof tile, and just some debris that needs to be cleaned off to make sure that it works well. Your water heater is a 2011, so it's only 7 years old. A couple minor fixes there, but nothing crazy. Your electrical panel, there is a double tap in there, but that's as simple as adding a breaker to the panel, which is about a $15 fix, and moving that one wire to its own breaker, which will be itemized in my report. So I'm going to be sending you tonight a summary report, which will show the things along with pictures that need to be addressed, and then there'll be a full report, which everything that's in the summary will be in the full report. The full report just has a lot of comments of FYI information for you. Shows things like, the house is furnished, we don't move furniture, things like what type of flooring you have in each room, whether the room has a window, an outlet, a fan, all that fun stuff. So I will be getting all of that to you tonight, and we'll go over a couple of points of the big things. First of all, your AC, they are original. One of them is a 1995, one of them is a 1997. So they are well past their designed life. Somebody's obviously been maintaining them because they both work phenomenal. Your heat was blown at about 120 degrees and your AC was blown at about 49 degrees. Those are both very good splits for both the systems. You have a unit for the upstairs and a unit for the downstairs. Again, a couple of minor things that need to be adjusted there. A little bit of damage to the exterior of the units, which being units that are over 20 years old, you would expect those type of things, especially being outside and in the weather. A couple of good points: you had great insulation in your attic. Your foundation and your trusses were all in very good shape, so the actual structure of your home is very good. Like I said, the electrical's minor things, water heater's minor things. Your biggest expense is probably resurfacing the pool. It is a plaster pool. There is some rust stains and some cracking and stuff like that that's starting to happen there. So my guess is it's probably the original pool. So you definitely got your life out of that. There is a leak out there and a couple other things that need to be adjusted, like the pool light and the outlet. But for the most part, once you get that resurfacing done of the pool, fixing the pool stuff is going to be pretty easy to do. Like I said, your ACs were good. The other big point that I wanted to point out, and we only discovered this as we were inspecting, but as we had the microwave running, heating up our cup of water, we turned on the oven as well. When we did that, it tripped the breaker out of the panel. So we shut everything down, and when we went to go reset the breaker, it automatically tripped again, meaning either the breaker went bad or something is wrong in here. The biggest part about that is a microwave should be on its own dedicated outlet. Because we don't have power to the stove, tells us that the microwave and the stove were on the same breaker, which is probably why it tripped. So those definitely need to be corrected. As of now, because the breaker will not reset, there is no power to the stove and no power to the microwave. So
yeah, so we're going to be obviously letting the sellers know that ASAP. I left the voicemail with the other agent, but I'm guessing they're going to get that fixed here, because otherwise they won't be able to cook or microwave here for the next 6 weeks until we close.
Exactly.
So.
And hopefully, if it is just a breaker that went bad or it's not big enough to support both, replacing the breaker is, $15, $20. It's not the most expensive thing. However, like I said, they should not be tied together on the same breaker. They should be separate from each other because the microwave uses so much power. That's why it's on its own dedicated breaker.
So I'll be relaying that to them ASAP so they can get it done right.
Right.
And not just
are the appliances staying? The fridge and the...
Yep. And the washer and dryer too.
Perfect. The fridge worked. The dishwasher worked. The garbage disposal worked.
Cool.
I could not test the washer and dryer because they had clothes in them.
I saw that, yeah.
If there's clothes in them, they've been using them and they most likely work. So,
yeah.
Like I said, overall, it's just a bunch of little minor things.
Okay. Do you have some stuff that you want to kind of point out to us so we can get a visual on it with like the water heater or the pool
Absolutely.
equipment or?
Absolutely. So we'll go look at the water heater first. So the water heater worked great. It is a gas water heater. It's a 40-gallon built in 2011, so it was obviously installed sometime after that. So it's only about 7 years old. I do tell people that water heaters are kind of like rolling dice. Sometimes they last 3 years, sometimes they last 30. You just kind of have to keep an eye on them. Thankfully, it's in a spot right where you pull in your car to where every time you get out of your car, you can just take a look and see if it's leaking. The only thing I don't like about the water heater is your vent pipe up here is actually touching the wall. This vent pipe gets pretty hot and should not be touching that wall at all. So it just needs to be tweaked a little bit. And then right here, you can tell when they replace the water heater, this pipe is actually supposed to be connected to this valve.
Yep.
So the old water heater was probably shorter, and this valve was sitting at the top, connected to this pipe. And so whoever put in the new water heater just got lazy and
Isn't
didn't
that
connect
crazy?
the pipe to that,
Jeez.
which is a simple fix.
I know, right?
But
it's,
why the person didn't do it when they were hooking up all the connections? I mean, it's such an easy fix to move that copper line into this.
yeah.
But it's been that way for 7 years, so just something that should be addressed. But again,
Yeah.
it's going to be one of those easy handyman type fixes
Cool.
for anybody that knows how to sweat copper.
Yeah.
There was one window that was broken. And hey, I don't know if you're able to get in here and see this, but you can actually see like condensation and fogging in between
Yeah.
the window panes right there.
Yeah.
It is labeled in my report that it is the east window in the
Okay.
family room.
So the seals are broken.
The seal went bad on this window, and
seal-
probably because it faces south,
The
it
sun.
got just pounded
Okay.
by the sun.
Sure.
We see it quite
But
often
it's,
down
so
here.
it's not cracked. It's just it's
It's,
compromised.
the glass is fine.
Okay.
It's the seal
Gotcha.
between the two panes.
Okay.
A couple other windows need to just be adjusted for the lock to engage and things like that.
Okay.
I'll go out and show you the pool.
And you have that in your report too?
I do.
Okay.
Well, let's go look at the ACs first.
Okay.
So like I said, I got a very good temperature split as far as the AC and the heat. But as you can tell by looking at the units, there's quite a bit of damage to the fins on the outside. This wire being at the top of the unit tells me that somebody has either replaced or serviced this motor in the past.
Okay.
More importantly, to get your ACs to run even better, this is
Wrap
that
that up.
fatter line
Yeah.
is the Freon line. That line should be insulated, especially in the summertime, or if you have dogs. This line will get very cold and it will create condensation, and the dogs love to go lick it and put their tongue on it and all that stuff because it gets nice and cold.
Sure.
So that should have insulation on it.
Okay.
And you could buy insulation, a 6-foot tube of that stuff
Yeah.
for $2.
Right.
So it just needs to be put on there and rewrapped with black electrical tape, and you're done.
Cool.
That's something that you can do on your own. Same as the other unit.
Yeah.
Somebody just stuck tinfoil over it. They didn't even
geez.
bother with the insulation. So as you can tell, like I said, just beat up. I mean, they're over 20 years old.
Yeah.
It's going to happen, but as of now, they're working great.
Okay.
The pool. And
Yeah.
what somebody did here, that looks like a pressure washer.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the marks from the screens.
Probably need new screens too at some point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, those are.
Depending on how often you open your windows, you can tell they had screens here at one point. That's what these little clamps are for.
Yeah.
That will help keep the sun out if you wanted to put like black sunscreens
The
in.
sunscreens, yeah,
They
those
will
are
help
nice.
keep the rooms cooler, especially these ones that face south.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Like I said, the roof was in very good shape. There's only one broken roof tile.
Did you notice any? Did you get in the attic and see if there's any moisture stains or
I
any
didn't see
leak?
any moisture stains in the attic at all.
No? Okay.
So I think your roof is good. The underlayment, depending on how thick of felt paper they used,
Sure.
can last anywhere between 25 and 35 years.
Okay.
So again, it depends on the thickness that they used, but I didn't see any water stains
Okay.
anywhere in the house, actually.
Good, okay.
Whether it be bedrooms or anywhere in the attic as
Cool.
well.
Okay.
And like I said, your insulation up there was very good.
That's good. So the pool surface, like I told you guys, definitely does need to get done. I would really look at getting that done ASAP, really, especially before next pool season.
Yeah, and you're starting to get some chips and some
Yeah.
pockets and stuff like that and some cracking. You can tell right here you're starting to get some rust
Yep.
down in the bottom. That's probably water getting to the rebar that's built inside the plaster that's starting to leak and
That's
have
right.
the rust come up through the plaster.
That's right.
So definitely good. Based on the size of your pool, it is not crazy expensive to resurface your pool in a new pebble sheen.
Yeah.
Probably, my guess would be $2,000 to $3,000, and you'll have a brand new looking pool.
Yeah, which looks awesome.
But your cool decking, your tile, all that's in good shape.
Yeah, that does look good.
Your aerator works. The light didn't work, but the outlet for the light didn't work. So it could be a bad bulb, but the outlet for the light is not wired properly, which is a simple handyman type fix. But until that outlet is fixed, we won't know if the light works.
Okay, gotcha.
There was only one leak, and it was out at the underneath the pool filter.
Okay.
There's a picture of that'll be in the report as well. All your handles worked well. Your GFIs on the outside worked well. I mean, it really is just a bunch of little handyman type things. There's the only thing. By the way, there were no termites.
That's good.
Always good news there, since Arizona is very notorious for them. The only thing that he wrote up on the report is there's a little bit of water damage underneath the bathroom sink downstairs.
Oh, okay.
There is an active leak there.
Okay.
We got a picture of that. The line is pretty corroded.
Sure, okay.
The only other thing that he's writing up is on the north side of the house, the grade kind of slopes toward the house.
Yeah, I read that.
So when it rains, water can kind of pond against your house instead of draining away from it. Pretty simple fix to just remove some of that rock and have it sloped away. And you have other places that you can move the rock to do that, but that's going to be more manual labor than anything that will cost money.
Okay.
It's more of just trying to, and you can even the way it's set up right now, it's pretty flat and then it slopes toward the house. You can even do it where you kind of create a little bowl over there to where at least